I've got a lead. There's this grizzled old general who's been bitching about the lack of info he gets about Aurora. Right now, he's the only one with the balls to call Victor the Dictator incompetent. According to him, the Aurora Dowser's down Shit Creek and may have a post. If we can prove that General is right, it isn't just some senile old man. Maybe the Army's head honchos will be pissed enough at the Colonel to kick his buns in the sun.
And we would need hard evidence.
I'm almost positive that Dandolo can help us. Noctis sends merchants everywhere, after all.
We also have some connections with Technomancers over there. They should be able to tell us what happened.
We could try Anton. Aurora's a little far, but there's no place that's safe from Anton's little birds.
It's a start.
Even if abundance is run from the top down, members of the Assembly would pay attention to uprisings. Some of your local allies could help you stir up some anger in the masses. The ASC has made their lives miserable for months. People are arrested on a whisper, live huddled in fear. It would not take much to spark the powder keg.
It's a good idea, but we can't influence entire populations by ourselves. We'd need allies hidden among the people.
Back when I was an artist, I got into some altercations with Assembly members who thought my shows were blasphemy. Maybe it was because I didn't say Hail to the Shadow 50 times. I can't say for sure, but if we could get them to think that Victor isn't a devout believer, we could get the large religious sect of the Assembly to revoke their support and demand his banishment. Or we could just give them a little nudge in the right direction by making them believe Victor steals relics for his own use.
We'd have to stage an elaborate setup, but I like it. After all, Trickster must get what he gives. We'll need volunteers that could pretend to be ASC. The plan is right up Anton's alley. It's possible for Dandolo or the opposition to help us out too.
One last thing. I was told the High Judge endorses all of Victor's decisions, even though I know for a fact that he hates him, which is more than a bit strange. The judge is such an honest man.
Or if you're in the mood to make a scandal, I've got everything we need. Did you know that Victor employs young women to worm out information on men he keeps tabs on? And I'm not Victor, but I have a feeling he used that info to blackmail these same men. If we can prove it, the Assembly would have a major meltdown. Their beloved colonel, a pimp? To find evidence of his trafficking, we could look for the orders he gave his goons. Have you seen his hands? Far too immaculate to be doing this dirty work himself.
Avori aren't doing anything about it. They must be profiting from it somehow. This is a dead end. We need to find a new approach.
Indeed. How's this? I've heard that a small faction of the Assembly blindly backs up Victor, no matter how crazy the project is. So I believe it almost certain that their chief of this faction was bribed. So unless we bribe him ourselves, we'll have to silence him.
It's not ideal, but I have no way of finding out what dirt the ASC has on that man. We'll have to go without his support, and hope we can get enough voters elsewhere.
All these ideas will indeed cut off Victor from his support network.
But
this is going to sound self-interested, but if we could help the mutants escape from the pen, it would expedite the Colonel's downfall. The people and the Assembly would be outraged to know that after decades of civilized control, Victor was the one who couldn't keep them in check. I'd like to see the Colonel try to justify his mistake of so many slaves, particularly ones notorious for their feeble minds.
no, it's not selfish. It's a good plan. We're gonna help mutants in the pen prepare their escape. After a mass breakout like that, his reputation. Thank you, all of you, for the ideas. Now let's make them happen. Hi.
Zachariah, to what do I owe this privilege?
I heard you escaped. How'd you do it?
Through a very sad and beautiful story. Sad because of the lives such success cost. Beautiful for the outcome it created. Are you aware of the conditions of the prisoner camps? Factories of pain and sadness. Mutants are harassed by fellow inmates and guards alike. Beaten, mistreated, forced to work. Many died from exhaustion or untreated wounds. One day, one of my people had fallen from exhaustion. I tried to stop a guard from hitting him. Understand, I am not violent, but their violence had to stop, so I struck the guard, and after that, events escalated. Rioting soon had become the only solution. We never had the thought of running away, only the need to show we would not live in those conditions anymore. A man, another prisoner, gave us aid.
You remember his name?
Yes, Roy Temperance. He had a boy. Innocence, I believe. They gave us tools to defend ourselves, but the key to our escape came with the death of the camp's administrator.
A soldier?
A Technomancer, placed there by his superiors for disobeying orders, from what I understood. No one dared look him in the eyes. His name was, if I recall correctly, Sean Mancer. Did you know him?
Yeah, I knew Sean. He was my master. He was growing tired of the path Abundance was taking, and he probably said it one too many times, to one too many people.
I am sorry, Zachariah. Even if his death made way for our escape, I can feel your pain.
Hi.
Zachariah!
I'm looking for work. You need help with anything?
Our nation is just beginning. There is enough work for 1 billion men. For example, an old, worn-down pump at one of our artesian wells has stopped working. And where it is, a creature lurks, terrifying our workers, keeping them from the repairs. If you could, get rid of the creature and make the repairs. You may need a good mechanic, unless you are able to repair it on your own.
Let me see what I can do.
Zachariah, I've received a message from Dandolo. He has some information on the disappearance of patients.
Really? Did he learn where he was taken?
The ASC had him locked up in an old dome near Ophir. In his message, he says that it's a dome that Technomancers used to use. Does this sound familiar to you?
Hard to forget. Yes. That's where initiations would take place before a mantis destroyed. We'll have to go free him. The place must be teeming with soldiers fighting for Victor. But we can't leave the old Technomancer in their hands. Door's blocked on the other side. Gotta find another path. found the well and pump. Hell though, gonna take a lot of materials to get it going again. Definitely can't replace it. Or maybe... there are similar types of equipment in the generators used by the cities. Gotta be one in Ophir and Noctis, even if the folks there aren't gonna be happy about ruining their machines.
Greetings, Zachariah.
Rumor is Aurora's dowser was deposed. I need to know it's more than rumor, though. If it's true, we might be able to convince some members of the Assembly that Victor needs to go.
Even though I don't like the idea of continuing the conflict between Abundance and Aurora that has caused so much suffering, if it's what needs to be done to dethrone Victor, I have a few contacts among Aurora's Technomancers. They're not quite brothers, but they're at least like cousins. And I've heard their messengers nearly always follow one particular shadow path. Let me show you. This one here. If you go, you may be able to stop one of their couriers. If the news you're expecting is as important as you say, I'm sure it will be in the documents they are carrying.
Thanks, Melvin.
The human everyone talks about. May I?
Hi. You wanted to talk?
I did. Yes, I did. I've heard many people say, even though you are human, you're a good person. Many say that without you, they would still be in the pen. I thought maybe you too could help me.
Depends. What do you need help with?
Yes, well, we need weapons. To have any hope of helping our brothers held captive, we must be armed. I was given orders to arm a squad, but I have nothing to arm them with. And in Noctis, such things are far too expensive for us. But since I was told you travel, if on one of your trips you could find and bring us back a box or two.
I can try. Sure I could get my hands on some in Ophir somewhere.
Thank you. Yes, I'm sure it would be a great help for us.
Ah, now you look like a promising client. If you have serum, you have promise, and I have all sorts of artifacts and merchandise from all sorts of corporations.
Up.
Mr. Mancer, I was sent by an important citizen. He's in need of your help and promises great support in return. He is waiting at the curiosities for you.
I'm guessing you're not gonna give me this important citizen's name.
No, just, he says he already owes you his life. I need to go. Can't risk people seeing us together. Goodbye.
Do you believe a tale about Aurora's dowser?
What? He was killed? It's all BS, yeah. There was one.
Taking out all the guards may be a little harsh, but we don't have a choice if we want to talk to good, friendly, and compassionate people to work here.
Hey, are you the chief around here?
He is, yes. I am the chief of those who do not willingly bow to men. Do you wish to punish me?
No, I'm Technomancer. One of your people sent me. His name is Phobos. He asked me to help you run away.
I know that name. I feel like I'm dreaming. A human? Offering to help us? I won't say no, but I hope I don't wake up soon. I need explosives so we can blast our way into the underworld, but I cannot make any here. They would spot any contraband on me right away. If you can find explosives, we'll be able to make a hole big enough for us to escape through. And I need to warn some groups. You'll also need to give a rousing speech. Many of them are terrified of disobeying humans. But maybe they'll listen to you. Anyway, there's one last problem.
What?
We have a mole. There's a brother here who works for the humans. I haven't figured out who, but if we don't flush him out, our escape plan will have failed before it even began.
Any idea how to blow his cover?
Not sure, but if the human brings up our legendary icons, like Phobos or Scum, he might try to overdo it, and sing their praise to the moons.
All right, I'll take care of it.
This is still so odd, but I thank you.
Hey,
Hello, man. Can he help you?
if you can tell me about Scum and Phobos, maybe.
He has never heard those names.
If you're not a mole, why didn't you try to escape with the rest?
He is scared. He has seen brothers caught trying to do so. The brothers were beaten, and worse, there is no escape. There is only death.
I'll give explosives to your chief. When I give the order, he'll make a breach leading to the underworld. And by going that way, your people can slip into the canyon undetected. No patrols, no violence, and you can finally be free.
We won't run into many patrols, but we could still run into some. We have not a weapon among us. No, it's too risky.
I'll give you time to think. I'll be back later. Hello?
What does the man want?
I just want to know more about Phobos and Scum. If you wouldn't mind talking.
He knows nothing of those names. Those names are not from the pen.
All right. You don't want to get out of here, do you? Why?
He does. He wants... If we try to leave, we will be killed like dogs.
Believe it or not, a lot of you have gotten out of here and are living freely now.
Some escaped. Many died. Better in chains than in a grave.
You heard of Mutant Valley?
They talk about it like it was paradise. Like a dream. A dream that may not be more than that.
It's as real as your scars. I've seen it. I've been there. Only mutants live there. Free and in peace. There's a crater covered in lichen. No guards, no whips, no forced work. Mutants that are happy. Don't you deserve that too? I know you're scared you'll get caught, and what'll happen to you if you do. But if you take the underwork, you'll reach the place the merchants keep their sand sails. They're your allies. They'll help you escape. I have a feeling you do know Phobos. You know how many times he's fled the city, helped others like you be free? And he's done it alone, which you won't have to do. You'll find help every step of the way. You'll be fine.
I can't stay here while my brothers escape. Tell the chief, I am ready to break free too.
So have you thought about it?
Sorry, I'm still not sure.
Surely you've heard of Mutant Valley. A beautiful city, built into the landscape's natural shade, where mutants are free to do what they please. A true paradise.
I do often dream about it. It gives me hope.
Phobos and Scum are the chiefs of Mutant Valley. They're highly respected orders that represent the voices of your free brothers. But even as free mutants, they do everything they can to free the ones who are still slaves. But only, of course, if they agree to leave. I had to escape from the city myself. Even with most of the militia and the secret police on my tail, I managed to do it. And look at me. I'm all in one piece.
You are a good man. I didn't think people like you existed. If you and Phobos will help, I cannot idly stand by. Tell the chief I'm in.
Thank you, I will. Be ready. Hi.
Hi. What can he do for the man?
He can tell me what he knows about Phobos and Scum.
He knows only they're mutant rebels. Escaped with many mutants to create a mutant nation that is the enemy of Mother Abundance. Traitors who were hiding far from here. Somewhere he does not know.
Well, looks like we found our mole.
To think how much they've been broken that even the idea of fighting for freedom scares them. At least you convinced them, though. Just cross your fingers they reach Mutant Valley without any problems.
who we're going to meet?
Not one bit.
According to the messenger, it's someone you saved. Someone powerful. Perhaps a politician? Someone you escorted? We'll find out soon, I'm sure. If they're as powerful as they seem, they will surely provide a boon in our battle against Victor.
Your Honor, I wish I'd known. You sent me that message?
I need to talk to you. I've kept an eye on you since you saved me. I never believed the lies the Colonel's been spreading about you. I just, unfortunately, did not know how I could be of help. Victor is a power-hungry sociopath, driven by his personal goals, destroying abundance. I've known it for years, but could never do anything about it.
Why not?
4 years ago, my son disappeared, and soon after, I started receiving messages telling me that if I ever wanted to see him alive, I needed to make certain decisions in my court. I never knew for sure who was behind it, even if I had my suspicions. Only recently did it become clear. Every decision I was instructed to make cleared the way for Victor's rise to power. He's holding my son, making me his puppet. It has to stop. For my son, for abundance, do you hear me? I have seen your strength with my own eyes. Save my son, and I promise you will not, from this day forward, fight the ASC alone. With my influence in the Assembly, I could easily have you reinstated.
I just want Victor to fall. That's enough for me. Any idea where he might be holding your son?
I wish I did. I know the ASC has secret facilities. Some say they're in the underworks. I don't know. Hearsay, perhaps, but if true, maybe someone in the army or mutants who helped build them might know better.
I'll do my best, Your Honor. I promise.
Don't know if you've heard, but they're supposedly signing a truce with Aurora. Can you imagine? After everything they've done, they attacked our city.
Typical backroom politics, keeping the little guys down. I don't mind so much, since if that's true, it'll bring my daughter back home.
She's still fighting at the front?
Yeah, haven't had any news in ages. ASC is blocking all contact with our soldiers.
Hey there.
Hello? What does the man want?
I'm Technomancer. I'm an ally of the Free Mutants, and I need some information.
She is listening, but is not sure she can help.
I know the ASC's got secret facilities somewhere in the city. Probably in the slums. Probably use mutants to build them. I need to find them. You know...
The man was lucky to find her. She worked to build the place. She knows the path under the source that leads straight to it. She can show it on a map.
Thanks. Yeah, that'd be a big help.
yourself up!
Traitor, get him!
Who are you? You're not a member of the ASC. What are you... How did you get in here?
You Simon Judge's son? Your father asked me to find you and bring you home.
Bullshit. My father abandoned me years ago, and now he comes to rescue me from the only people who have cared for me since? He never gave a damn about me. Can't you see I'm happy here? The ASC is my new family. Get out.
He's been brainwashed. We're not getting through to him.
I've seen victims become attached to their captives. When I was locked in a camp, I knew a few who didn't even need treatment after a while because they got so attached to their torturers. Let me try. Zach, leave him alone. He's gone through enough. Surrounded by ASC for 4 years, never allowed to see anyone else, never allowed to leave. Only hearing what they want him to hear. Everything he thinks has been fed to him. He's a puppet. He doesn't even know that he only does whatever they want.
Who the hell are... You don't know anything! I'm free here to do...
So if I asked you to come with me to the Curiosities for a drink, you'd come?
If I wanted to, but I don't.
Then just prove you can and we'll leave you alone. Prove you're free. Free to think, free to come and go. Or should we just go back to your father and tell him you're already dead? It'd be easier than him knowing that this is what you've become.
You? Fine. Fine, I'll go outside. You don't think I can? I'll prove it to you. Let's go outside.
All right, prove it to me. Go to the Curiosities, in the slums. Wait for your dad there. If he's not there, ask the bartender to hide you. Make sure you're not followed. Go on. Get out of here.
Fine. The Curiosities, then I'll be done with you.
All right, let's go see the judge. Break the good news that his son's finally free of the fucking ASC.
You think the judge would have thought if he knew his son wanted to stay with his kidnappers rather than go back to him?
I don't know what he would have thought, but I'm sure he'd have felt sad. Probably a little guilty.
Yeah. But what's done? That's what they're trained to do. Break people's minds to the point they'd even turn on their own families.
You find your boy?
Yes, I sure did. He's in a safe place now. He's recovering. Being isolated as much as he was it'll take time, I'm sure, for him to be back to his former self. Until then, I will find a way to turn the Assembly against Victor. Let him try to get another law passed. It'll be like hitting a mountain.
Thank you.
No, Zachariah. It is I who am indebted to you. Not just for what you have done for my family, but for Abundance, who deserves better than this tyrant.
Some relics. You're a Technomancer. You gotta know where we can find some.
Yeah, But the relics we keep aren't ones I'm gonna use for an operation like this. We need some minor relics.
What's the difference?
The amount of information we can get from them. Most of the objects dating back to the settlers are just trinkets. The ones we keep are data interfaces, though. Way too valuable to risk losing.
Repent! We won't have access to the Blue Paradise so long as we are not all absolved of our sins. You came here to wash your soul?
I had something else in mind. I'd like to buy back the relics I brought to you the other day.
What? No, I'm afraid I cannot honor your request. Those relics represent the blessings that the Shadow bestows upon our followers. To just sell them away would be like selling away my faith.
I guess I'll just have to take them back.
Shadow, protect me! Please, have mercy. I'll sell them. I'll sell them!
I'm sorry that offer has expired. Now, if you'd please hand them over.
The sun will damn you 1,000 times for this. Beating and robbing a leader of the faithful. Here's the key to the temple's safes. Repent.
I had something...
Sorry, pal, can't go through. Priest ordered us to let no one through. No one includes you. Sorry, pal, can't go... Sorry, pal, can't... Sorry, pal, can't go...
Do you have any relics?
Things from the old settlers? Yeah, a few. 3 in very good condition. If you want them, I'd happily trade for some serum. Lately, I've been running low.
You're a robber, right?
Don't like that word. Don't consider myself that. I recover things people leave behind in the desert. I take nothing from nobody. Got cool things, though. Collect it, repair it, trade it.
When you say people who left stuff in the desert, you talking about settlers?
Sure. Yeah, in part. Found some settler items in the ruins, but my stock is interesting things from all over. Shadow paths, and even places pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I even found an old rover. Out of commission and in bad shape, yeah? But there was some cool parts I salvaged. The driver was dead, so I figured I could make better use of it than him.
I see.
Welcome, welcome. What's your pleasure? What are you looking for?
I'm looking to buy some ASC uniforms.
Not an easy thing to come by, but if you're willing to pay high enough.
I'll take them all.
That's what I'm talking about. Making business.